was a very good opportunity to take the concept coupe that we presented in 2013 as a starting point for that new brand. Because if you take the concept coupe, it was the DNA donor of the Volvos to come at the time, but it was as well referencing back to the P1800, and the P1800 at its time had a similar function. It was a unicorn, it was a special car for the brand at the time, but it also lent its genes to the rest of the lineup. So here we have a car that, in terms of its performance, fits perfectly to this brand. It has those 600 horsepower. It has like a hybrid drivetrain with an extremely long pure electric range, and at the same time, it links nicely to Volvo. But it will be the start of a more diverging direction. And it's basically the start of a more and more unique expression. I really believe in logical design that has a logical base, but is extremely emotionally executed. So the surfacing and the form language really speaks to the emotions, but then the framework of the lines and of how shut lines are integrated is extremely logical. So I would say that in the example of the XC40, we just didn't want to have this sharp shoulder running through the whole car. That's why there is a shut line that isn't extended into the body side. And I'm very happy about that, because it is this tough little creature that is very exciting. And here we had carbon fiber to work with, so we had a couple of different opportunities that you don't really have in sheet metal necessarily. So that's why some of the design cues that you can see in this car are the way they are. But yes, we do develop step by step a form language that will differentiate Polestar more and more from Volvo. And there are these elements like, specific electrification elements coming in. And there will be an exciting journey in the next couple of years. So what you see here is a beautiful first step into the brand Polestar, and I'm very excited personally about the journey that the design of this brand will take. We didn't want to fall into the cliche of just using certain color codes for electrification and doing the obvious things to indicate that these cars from now on, the whole generation, will be electrified. So, and I'm happy to see that people notice that as well, that it is a very subtle approach to branding. And you see those fine little details in the logos being basically color coordinated in a matte tone, and also very subtle ways of expressing the electric powertrain. In this case, it's a hybrid. It's a very strong 600 horsepower hybrid, and but they will be from now on fully electric. The interesting thing here is that the brand Polestar uses the concept coupe from 2013 as basically the production translation of that car as the first car, which is a good thing in a way, because if you look at the P1800 at its time that the coupe was inspired by, it also was a kind of a unicorn to the brand, but then led to become a DNA donor for the lineup. And in this case here, it also works really well as the story, because it needs to be clear that the brands from the beginning are linked. There is very similar technology. There's also the same trust in the industrial system. And then from that point onwards, the two brands will go their more and more separate ways. So if you look at Volvo, for example, which is very human-centric, it's all designed around the passengers, the people, safety is a big message, and the Polestar products will be more and more focusing on technology and pointing it out and playing with it and displaying it and being proud of the technology that's within them. So that's where there will be a clear divide, and we will also use that in the design form language to sharpen the two expressions. The grille of the Polestar 1, that's an interesting story, because the car is a very powerful, but yet it's a hybrid. So it takes a lot of its energy from the electric motors or from the batteries, for that matter. We do also show that the need for airflow into the grille is not as great as it is in a purely combustion-driven car. So we call the grille the grid. it still takes its general attitude from the Volvo vertical bars, but then it closes it off more and has those closed areas, which is something for us to show electrification, show that the need of air is getting less and less, and that's a great playground for us, and we will keep experimenting with that in the future.